Hello, am I audible, Ajay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute, wait. Now, today we will start a new chapter, that is theory of relativity. Theory of relativity. Uh, I think module 3 or 4. Module 3 or 4 means theory of relativity. So, in this chapter, just a minute, I am sharing my screen. So, in this chapter, हेलो, हाँ देखो आ गया ना. हेलो अजय, हेलो अजय.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Hello, sir.
Now
Yes,
in this
sir.
chapter we have discussed. Uh, uh, I think you all are know about frame of reference, types of frame of reference, that is inertial frame, non-inertial frame of reference, like this. In 11 or 12 class, sorry, in 11 class you have already uh, read all these things. But here, before starting the chapter theory of relativity, these things, the knowledge of these things are very much uh, required, because without knowing these things, we cannot remember the special theory of relativity, general theory of relativity, Lorentz transformation, Galilean transformation, like these topics. And all these topics are related with frame of reference, inertial frame of reference, non-inertial frame of reference. So here first we have discussed about frame of reference. Frame of reference means the definition of frame of reference is that if a system relative to if a system relative to the motion of any object is described is called frame of reference. If a system relative to motion of any object is described is called frame of reference. Now, suppose if I am giving a example. Now, if a person is standing on the earth, he observes uh, that if a train is moving with a velocity of 40 kilometer per hour, so that then another train, another person which is uh, uh, which is on a cycle moving in the direction of motion of train with a velocity of suppose 10 kilometer per hour, the person who are standing on the surface will observe that velocity of the train is to be 30 kilometer per hour, while another third person on the same train, another person, third person, is suppose uh, sit on the train, he observed that the train is to be at rest. Hence the motion observed, it is to be hence the motion of the train has no meaning, means it is meaningless, because it describes with the earth cycle or train. Again I will repeat this example. If a person is standing on the earth, he observes the velocity of the train is suppose 40 or 50 kilometer per hour, then another person is moving on cycle in the direction of the motion of train with the velocity of suppose 10 kilometer per hour. He observed that the velocity of the person who are standing on the surface, he observed that the velocity of the train should be 30 kilometer per hour. But another third person is suppose sit on the train. He observed that train will be at rest position. Hence, the motion of the train has no meaning unless it is described with the earth, cycle, or train. This is the first statement, means definition of frame of reference or an example of frame of reference. Definition is if a system relative to which the motion of an object is described, motion of an object is described, is called frame of reference. Now, suppose here there are three coordinate axes are given here. According to this diagram, we can define the frame of reference. So, this is a system. Suppose a system of coordinate axes, these are the coordinate axes x, y, z, which defines the position of a particle. Suppose P is a point. In this point, particle should be placed. The position of the particle in two or three mutual perpendicular axes is called frame of reference. According to this diagram, we can say that if a system of coordinate axes defines the position of a particle in two or three mutually perpendicular space, two or three dimensional space, is known as frame of reference. Here, in this figure, x, just a minute, two people are waiting. X, y, and z. These are the coordinate axes. I have already written here. X, y, and z. These are the coordinate axes. And here I, unit vector I, j, and k are the unit vector along x, y, and z axis. A point is P is a point in which a particle should be placed. Now, so R, here R be the position vector of this particle, at point P. Again, I will repeat this diagram. Let x, y, and z are the coordinate axes. I, j, and k are the unit vector along x, y, and z axis. P is a point in which the particle should be placed, and R be the position vector of the particle at point P. Now, the position vector of the particle with respect to this origin. Look my cursor. Yes, anybody wants to something? Raise your hand. Anybody wants to tell us? No. Now, the position vector of the particle with respect to the origin, we can write R is equal to, R is a position vector, R is equal to xi plus yj plus kz. I, j, and z are the unit vector along x and y axis, x, y, and z axis. So, the position vector of the particle with respect to the origin, here origin, just a minute. So in that case, R is equal to, written here, xi plus yj plus kz. Now, the velocity of this particle, is suppose v. So in this case, we can write v is equal to dr by dt. So here we have put the value of dr by dt. So, the value of dr is dx by dt I plus, for y-axis dy by dt j plus dz divided by dt k. We have measured the velocity of the particle at the which is placed at this point. Now again we have to measure, calculate the acceleration. So we know that a is equal to acceleration of the particle. A is equal to dv by dt. Here we can write for in terms of position vector d square y by d square r by dt square. First we have to think about in which place the particle is to be placed. So here P is a point in which the particle is to be placed. Now the R be the position vector of the particle to the origin. Then position vector of the particle with respect to the origin can be written as R is equal to this part. Now velocity of the particle is suppose v. So in that case v is equal to dr by dt. Again we putting the value of r. So here dx by dt I plus dy by dt j plus dz divided by dt k. We have I have already calculated the velocity of the particle. Now we have to calculate the acceleration of this particle, which is at the point P. In that case, A is equal to, we know that dv by dt is equal to d square I by dt square in terms of position vector. Now, this is the basic concept of frame of reference. Frame of reference. Basic concepts of frame of reference according to x, y, according to coordinate axis are already we have discussed. Now, next theme is the types of frame of reference. I think you are well known all these things in your class 11. Types of frame of reference. If a motion of a body, earlier we have told that motion of a body is has no meaningless. It is described with respect to some defined frame of reference. Means it is defined with coordinate system. Now here, according to that statement, there are two types of frame of reference. One is inertial frame of reference, another is non-inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. The statement of inertial frame of reference is the frame with respect to, in this time we will say in frame with respect to which an unaccelerated body is accelerated. Unaccelerated body is unaccelerated. It means if the body is at rest or moving with a constant linear velocity are called inertial frame of reference. Means it obeys the laws of motion. Types of frame of reference. First is inertial frame of reference. The statement of inertial frame of reference states the frame with respect to which an unaccelerated body. It means the body is at the rest condition. Unaccelerated body is unaccelerated. That is, the body should be at rest position or moving with a constant linear velocity is called inertial frame of reference. Suppose any if we have taken this coordinate system, this any coordinate system relative to which a body is in motion has coordinates x, y, and z are the coordinates when the body is in motion. If the body is not acted by any external force, if the body is not acted by any external force, in that case, we can write F is equal to m into a. So m into d square x by dt square is equal to 0. m into for y-axis d square y by dt square is equal to 0, and for z-axis m into d square z by dt square is equal to 0. And these results gives dx by dt is equal to ex, dy by dt is equal to ui, and dz divided by dt equal to uz, and all these parameters are taken as constant. Here ux, ui and yz, ux, ui and uz are the components of velocity. These are the components of velocity in x, x here, x, y or z axis. In this time, in this for inertial frame of reference, if we have discussed regarding coordinate system, then in that case we can say the coordinate system relative to which a body is in motion, coordinates x, y, z. If the body is not acted by any external force, then m is equal m into d square x by dt square is equal to 0, means there is no external force acting upon the body. So we can write 0. For y-axis, we can write m into d square y by dt square equal to 0, and m into d square z divided by dt square is equal to also 0. This, which gives dx by dt is equal to ux, dy by dt equal to ui, and dz divided by dt is equal to uz. These are the constants, and these are the components of, means ux, ui and uz are the components of velocity. Here, look this. Here I have already written components of velocity in x, y and z direction. Now, inertial frame of reference. Suppose this is the diagram for x, y and z axis, coordinate axis. So here S and S dash, there are, look here, S, X coordinate, Y and Z, these are the three axes. S and S dash, S and S dash are the two frame of reference, such that their orientations in space remaining fixed. So free to move only with translatory motion with respect to one another. S and S dash are the two frame of reference, such that their orientation in space remains fixed here, so that it is free to move with translatory motion with each other, with respect to each other. Now let this system S dash has moved into S, towards S. S frame of reference moves towards S. So origin O and O dash initially coincident with a time t. Suppose this frame of reference S is moving towards the frame of reference, this frame of reference S dash is moving towards the frame of reference S. So the origin of this frame S dash frame of reference is O dash, and origin of S frame of reference is O. So if this S dash frame of reference moves towards S, then O dash origin O dash will coincide with the origin O at a time t with a constant velocity v. Means the S dash frame is moving with a constant velocity v, and it takes time t when the origin O dash and O coincides with each other. In that case, here look this, S dash frame of reference is moving towards S. I have written already here. and O and O dash t with moves with velocity v. So if they are coincides with a constant velocity v at time t, so O dash here, O dash is equal to R, capital R, is equal to v into t, velocity into time. Now, if here P is a point, this point P should be written here. P is a point in which the particle is to be placed. The position vector from the origin O to P is R, and for S frame of reference, and for S dash frame of reference, the position vector from origin O dash to P is R dash, here R dash. So we can say that R and R dash are the position vector of the particle P corresponding to the two frame of reference, means S and S dash frame of reference. In that case, this R, small r, position vector of particle P to origin O, this position vector R is equal to here R plus this R dash, R plus R dash. This R is equal to here capital R plus R dash. Now, on solving this equation, here R, this positive R will go towards left direction, so sign will be changed. Means here we can write minus sign, and R is equal to here rest part is R dash. So R dash, we can say that R dash is equal to R minus R. Equation 2. Here O dash is equal to R. The value is Vt. Equation 1. Now equation 2 states that R dash is equal to R minus R. On putting the value of equation 1 into, putting the value of this equation 1 into, means the value of R, capital R, is put on equation 2, means here. So in this case, R dash is equal to R minus, here the value of R is equal to V into T. So we can write V into T. After that, we can write that d square R divided by dt square is equal to d square R dash divided by dt square. D square R divided by dt square. Hello, Ajay, am I audible? Hello, hello. हेलो।
Yes, sir, you are audible.
अरे क्या हो रहा समझ में नहीं आ रहा यार, अनस्टेबल आ जा रहा बार बार, कनेक्शन बहुत प्रॉब्लम है ना, समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या हो रहा है। जस्ट वेट
सर, कॉलेज वाला नेटवर्क किस चला रही है सर?
कॉलेज थोड़ी गए हैं, घर पर ही है।
अच्छा,
now here I have got d square R by dt square. This can be, this is the this part is used for S dash frame, acceleration of S dash frame, and the here for this part is for S frame of reference, and d square R dash divided by dt square is for S dash frame of acceleration. Now next is non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. So statement of non-inertial frame of reference is that the frame with respect to which an unaccelerated body is accelerated. For inertial frame of reference, the body which is unaccelerated is unaccelerated. Means the body is a rest condition or moving with a with some of the velocity. But for non-inertial frame, the frame with respect to which an unaccelerated body is accelerated, unaccelerated body is accelerated, is known as non-inertial frame of reference. Or when the frame of reference is accelerated relative to an inertial frame, the basic of physical law such as Newton's second law is completely different. Is completely different. When the frame of reference is accelerated relative to an unaccelerated frame, the basic of physical law like Newton's second law of motion is completely different. Next is the accelerated frame of reference known as fictitious force or accelerated frame of reference. It is also known as fictitious force or pseudo force. Pseudo force or fictitious force. Accelerated frame of reference. Now, according to this diagram, here already three coordinate axes x, y, and z are given here for S frame of reference. Now, here S dash frame of reference are we have taken. For S dash frame of reference, there are another three axes, coordinate axes, x dash, y dash, and z dash are given here. According to this diagram, we can say there are two frame of reference, S and S dash, and both the frame of reference have coordinate axes x, y, z, and x dash, y dash, and z dash, respectively. And P is a point here. P is a point. This and the particle is to be placed at this point P. Now, suppose frame F, the force acting on the particle P is equal to m into a. Suppose mass of the particle is m and acceleration of the particle is a. So in this case, frame S, for frame S, the force acting on this particle P, we can write F is equal to m into a. Equation 1. Now, another force F dash acting on the frame of reference S dash, moving with a acceleration, a naught. In that case, the force acting on the particle P due to this frame of reference is F dash is equal to, we can write minus m a naught, here we can use minus sign because this S dash frame of reference moves in anti-clockwise direction, so that here we are using minus sign. For S frame of reference, the force acting on this particle which is at point P is equal to F is equal to m into a. For S dash frame of reference, the acceleration of the particle is suppose a naught and mass of the particle is m. So for S dash frame of reference, the force should be F dash. Then in that case, we can write F dash is equal to minus m into a naught. Minus sign indicates that S dash frame of reference moving in anti-clockwise direction. This is now here I have written equation 2. The force of frame S dash with respect to S. The force of frame S dash with respect to S, we can write F dash is equal to ma minus ma naught. Equation 3. Non-inertial frame S dash does not hold Newton's second law. According to the statement of non-inertial frame of reference, we know this thing. So in that case, we can write F is equal to here m into a naught, means F is equal to F dash is equal to, we can write F naught. Then this equation 3 can be written as F dash, here F dash is equal to, in place of ma we can write F equation 1, the value is given in equation 1 minus ma naught, means here I have written F dash is equal to F naught. So here we can write in place of ma naught is F naught. Then we have taken a negative sign in the left hand side. So minus F dash is equal to, here in the right hand side we are also taking negative sign, and rest part is F. Here F I have written minus into minus equal to plus, and rest part is F naught. Minus sign will be cancelled. So rest part is F dash is equal to F dash is equal to F plus F naught. The force F naught is equal to we can write F naught here. Force F naught is equal to m into a naught. Does not actually exist, but appears to come into the pure consequence of the acceleration of the frame S dash with respect to S. This force is known as pseudo force or fictitious force. Here, accelerated frame of reference is also known as pseudo force or fictitious force. Now we know that F naught, according to this equation 2, here suppose F dash, suppose here we have mentioned F dash is equal to F naught. So F dash is equal to minus m into minus a naught. Therefore F naught is equal to minus m a naught. This is the fictitious force or pseudo force. The force F naught, here F dash, in place of F dash we can write F naught. The force F naught is equal to ma naught does not actually exist, but appears to pure in consequence of acceleration of this frame S dash with respect to S, is known as fictitious force or pseudo force. So this fictitious force F naught is the fictitious force. F naught is equal to mass into acceleration of negative sign. Mass into acceleration of negative sign. So here we have got equation F naught is equal to minus m into